Hey, it's 2:30 in the morning. Welcome to Ducktales, episode 18. Bermuda, Triangle, Tangle. Okay, here we go. Been up since 6 a.m. So it starts, Scrooge is counting his money. It's a normal day. Boys show up, decide they want to go fishing. And then this dog shows up. He's a little nerd dog. He's got glasses. Tells Scrooge he's got bad news. Turns the paper around. Bad news is that he's illiterate. So Scrooge gets mad. He can't believe he's been paying a dummy. So his money flies out the window, and then he makes a phone call, tells Link, hey, I'm going to go find your Triforce. He's got this little map to the Triforce. Scrooge says, hey, it's north. You boys know what direction north is, right? And they tell him, yeah. And then they squint. They're just trying to lie and say that they know it's north. Scrooge is worried. Boys are idiots. So then he decides he's got to do something. So he's going to put him on this boat. They're going to go out in the ocean. So they hire this captain. His dumb duck. He's got his suit's too big for him. They set sail. Scrooge is mad that the captain doesn't know what he's doing, so he breaks a rib, punctures his lung. Dumb duck. His little tongue sticking out. He's got wonky eyes. So then, red sky at night, sailor's delight, sailing into it. And these dolphins aren't so keen on it. They're not having a good time. They take off. They're over it. One of the dolphins looks back. He's like, yeah, have fun. I know the shitty episode that lies before you. So then the weather changes immediately. Pitch dark. They're all here on the deck. Boys are still illiterate. Turn their hat on backwards. They got more of a rap vibe to them. And lightning strikes their can. These worms come out and they jump overboard, commit suicide. All hands on deck. Or all hands on duck. So this wave comes over, knocks Scrooge off. Boys save him. Then his butt gets struck by lightning. Dumb duck. He's on deck. He's got his first mate. Old Papa himself, Ernest Hemingway, standing next to him as he spins around, defies gravity. His eyes go wonky again. And then they're clear. They're free. It's a good night. Full moon. Fog. Dumb duck gets tied up. It's comic relief. Makes a joke. The expense of everyone. And then it's revealed that there's this thick bed of like kelp and algae that all the ships have gone into. You can see his little graveyard. And these eyeballs pop up. Sea monster decides he's going to eat Scrooge's foot. So he pops up, fancies himself a little nibble. He gets it. Scrooge doesn't have a foot. So they find all these people. They've got plants growing out of them, like Stephen King in that Creep Show movies, Jordy Verrill. Touches a meteor. Should have watched that instead of this. If you're listening to this, stop watching and just watch that. So then they're surrounded, and it looks like they're going to be killed. Another knife brandished at children. And then they all laugh. They're not like, we're not scary people. We're good people. We just initially walk up to people like rapists and murderers, and then we drop the bit. So except for this one duck, he's got a spear, and he thought everyone was on board for killing him. So then the captain shows up. He's green. Doesn't make sense. And he tells a joke. They don't get it, but the crew freaking loves it. They go bananas. Tells another joke. They don't get it. They think he's nuts. So he's like, well, let me explain it. So he explains the whole joke. It takes about 17 and a half minutes. Crew laughs when he gets to the end of the story again. Boy's still not having it. And this one dog, he does not get it. He's done with it. Decides to take off with his mustache. So anyways, it turns out that these people, they've sustained themselves here in the Triforce by laughing at jokes. Laughter is the best medicine. That's how they cure AIDS. And they eat all this kelp, the seaweed. They turn it into food. Like you got seaweed pancakes, you got seaweed yogurt, you got seaweed steaks, seaweed hot dogs. That's what this guy's eating. Seaweed pig in a blanket. And says, how dare you? Picks him up. He's going to rough him up. Throws him. He's done with him. Scrooge lands. The little Ducktales crotch shot. And then they're forced into slavery. So they start digging. Monster shows up. He had a taste for foot. He wants more. He's like a horny frat guy. He's only got one thing on his mind. This guy shows up with a bell. He's got like a little jester collar on. Everyone's got a beard. Except for this one guy. He found a way to shave. So he's got a mustache, but the rest of people have beards like assholes. But then this one guy doesn't have a mustache. But this other guy has a pronounced mustache. So Scrooge starts an uprising. Starts quoting Black Panthers. He calls himself the White Duck. He says, let my people go. He lifts his hands up and he parts the kelp. And this monster shows up, scary for kids, and he starts sucking on his tentacle, and then he decides to chase him. So he chases Scrooge. Then it all goes to black. I thought I had passed out, but it turns out the episode just went black. Here he is. So then they play this organ. Turns out that this little sea creature, he loves music, so he just goes to bed. Then the captain beats up Scrooge for making him play the organ. He swore he'd never do it again. Gone back on his promise. He just beats him back left and right. The crew stops him. Ernest Hemingway's like, you know what? If we just get rid of this kelp, we can make it work. If it doesn't work, I'll shoot myself. So they take him up on it, and they start clearing the seaweed away. And Scrooge accidentally cuts Huey, Dewey, Louie in half with these shears. Look like the giant scissors from Exorcist 3 or Clock Tower, popular game for the PlayStation 1. Captain Dum-Dum's got his whistle. And Scrooge plays a song on the organ. Scrooge always conveniently knows how to do things whenever they're around. I've seen him play an organ. I've seen him skateboard. He does it all. So then they load up all these beans onto a boat. They shoot through the kelp. Everyone's safe. As captain, he's ashamed. He says, I'm a bad little boy, and he gets on his boat. Turns out, sea creature followed him. So they land. All the beans get off the boat. Chickpeas, that's what I'm thinking of. All these chickpeas are on a boat. So they get off on this dock. Looks like Speed 2 cruise control. And everyone's there to see him. All your favorites, Abigail, Webby, Duckworth, Fat Pig in a yellow polo. Your favorites. This guy with a pennant. No one plays a sport. The band's there. It consists of the parrot from Saludos Amigos. So then the sea monster pops up. He's got better plans. He's basically the Willem Dafoe from Speed 2 Cruise Control of this episode. He does rolly stuff. Scrooge, he lands in the band. His head's in a tambourine. Oh, he's had better days. So he starts playing the flute. He knows how to play the flute. Like I said, he can do anything whenever he needs to. So he purses his lips and he plays Funky Town. Then he picks up the trumpet. He plays Satchmo. I'm so tired. Then the monster sees Scrooge, starts wrecking all these buildings. He's going to kill everyone. And then the sun comes out. The monster runs and hides. He yelps like a dog, because of course he does. So then Scrooge is hounded by all the press because he managed to bring the Triforce back. He's happy. He's doing interviews. Lady in the back has a curl in her head. And they shove all these microphones in his face. He's loving it. If he doesn't have something in his face, he's not happy. And then the captain's beard grows. Tells him he's going to get on his tugboat and he's going to sail back into the Triforce. He rides away in the sun. He takes the sea monster with him. Everyone's happy. Oh, we're right back to where we started. Every episode of Ducktales is like a spec script. The worst show ever made. Yeah, I'm going to go to bed.